Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. So as you can see, there was some new PTR updates on the 29th of April. I left them for a couple of days because there seemed to be some quite big changes in there that I wanted to see if there's any, if they were just testing some stuff out or if they were really committing to these changes. Nothing's changed since then. And obviously we're now going into the weekend, so I'm not expecting anything to change now, but I just want to go through some of the changes and what I think about them. There's going to be another video out tomorrow talking about kind of my plans in 9.1. So if you are interested, definitely check that out. So first of all, Blood DK, damage of all spells and abilities increased by 6%. This is actually a 0.1% survivability buff as well. His dot in leeches damage, I believe, based on the damage it does. So maybe that'll be a survivability increase, but it just helps with threat, which is something Blood was struggling with, but still doesn't really bring them into the metal too much. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting change though. Survival Hunter getting a buff. So Survival actually does crazy AoE damage. Like, just cleave Mythic Plus style burst AoE damage actually does alright. It's the single target damage that Survival Hunters really struggled with. And so Kill Command is kind of core to the build, as is Mongoose Bite. So seeing these in buffed is quite a big jump. Don't get me wrong, you're still not going to be seeing Survival Hunters topping the raid charts, but I think this is something that if you really love the people who really love that spec, it's less of a meme now. So yeah, some interesting pet stuff that is interesting if you're interested in it, I suppose. So for Priest, Shadow Word Pain and Vampiric Touch damage increased by 25% each. However, Devouring Plague, which is their kind of big bursty dot, and kind of what the whole build's built around, our whole spec is built around, is reduced by 18%. I'm not entirely impressed with this. Because Devouring Plague, it's about managing how often that's on a target. It's about playing that well. And I know you can keep up for a long time, and it's probably a little bit too strong, but I'd be interested to know how the numbers stack up, whether single target they've stayed the same and this is just like a Mythic Plus AoE buff, because obviously you can have Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain on a lot of targets, or if this is also a single target nerf. I know the Legendary's got nerf as well, so yeah, it's interesting. I think Shadow's in a bit of a weird place again, as always. None of their covenants seem to really fit the spec correctly. They're currently running Night Fae, and it doesn't feel fun to play. I've tried it, not my cup of tea. So Warlocks. So Warlocks have been weird. Warlocks went from being this very bursty spec, and I say bursty because they were literally sat there blowing, like having 100 dots on a target, Malefic Rapturing, and just nuking bosses, doing crazy damage. They then nerfed Malefic Rapture, and everyone hated it. Everyone was like, Affliction sucks. And they've now changed it to this. So you've got corruption damage increased by 15%. Now this is minor, really. Maybe it'll make them a little bit more relevant in Mythic Plus. Maybe. Not sure. Cedar corruption damage increased by 25%. That's a little bit nicer, but again, not huge really. Dark Caller, which is your little Vile Fiend thing, is baseline 2 minutes, which is pretty nice. You used to have like cooldowns that you had to, some were 2 minutes, some were 3 minutes, and you never really got them to align. This means that they will always align. Every 2 minutes you can have a really big burst window, which is nice. Shadow Embrace, which I know is something that Warlocks as a whole and Affliction specifically hated. It wasn't fun to play, and yeah, really annoying. Well, this is now no longer baseline and is a talent option. Now, it's still a good talent option. I'm not sure if it's the best talent option. I haven't looked into it, but certainly interesting that they've changed away from something that was so widely hated by like the Warlock community, and they've just gone, it's fine. If you want it, you can have it, but it's no longer mandatory. It's interesting. I really like this from Blizz. I just wish they did it to more specs. new conduit, Withering Bolt, Shadow Bolt, or Drain Soul if you've got the talent, deals 33% more damage per damage over time effect active on your target. So if you've got, oh god, let me see if I can remember all the talents. Phantom Singularity, Curse of Agony, Corruption. If you've got 4 or 5 dots on the target, you're going to be hitting for like 150% more damage on your Shadow Bolt or Drain Souls. I've already seen Kalamazi hitting like 75k Shadow Bolts. Yeah, that's not fun. This is something that is going to become a mandatory conduit, and it's basically just going to be necessary to play the game as an Affliction Warlock. But with these changes, I still think Affliction Warlock's going to be especially with the way boomies have been treated now, I think this is going to be tippity top. Warlocks are on top again for next tier at the moment, in my guess. Arms Warrior, Mortal Strike, Deep Wounds, damage increased by 10% in non-PvP situations. I'm glad they've stipulated this because Warriors are already strong in PvP. You don't need to keep buffing them in PvP and then buffing them in PvE. Execute damage increased by 10%. I like this because it indirectly nerfs Venthyr, because Venthyr's less strong if your execute strong, like as strong as Arms, which gives you a little bit of option between the other conduits and covenants. Overpowered damage increased by 10%. So this is a nice little buff for Arms Warriors. I still don't think they'll be top in meters again, but I think they'll be strong. Covenants. So there's some new chapters available. I'm not going to do them because why would I? I'm going to play the game when it comes out. This is interesting. Changing to a new covenant will now refill your available conduit energy. Amazing change. Oh my god, this has been needed for so long. I'm very happy to see this. Now, there's some new profession stuff. I'm not going to go into it all too much because, really, why do we care? This is interesting. Sets the crafted equipment to item level 230. I'm not sure if that's a legendary piece. I'm going to have to look into that. That's quite interesting. Because a 230 piece is like pretty decent. If you can have like one piece just crafted up to 230, just not a legendary, just like an epic piece or a blue piece or whatever, but a crafted piece that can be crafted up to 230. It's pretty interesting. In terms of PvP, I'm not going to get into it too much. Just because, one, I'm not a particularly strong PvP player at the moment. So I don't understand how big a change these are going to be. But I know that there is a lot of complaints at the moment about PvP. So I'm just going to say, probably not enough. The Druid new updated powers are now available, so I'm going to go and test them out soon. And the new legendary currency, Soul Cinders, which is Soul Ash for layers 9 to 12. Now, what's interesting about this is when you do layer 12 Torghast, you're going to get all of your Soul Ash that you would have got from completing up to layer 8, as well as 3 layers of Soul Cinders as well, which is nice. So Torghast has been like reworked a little bit. You're now going to have like a scoring system and things like that, and there's going to be play efficiently to become animate empowered, and you can get permanent perks and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit more fleshed out, and I think it actually could be quite cool now, which is nice. And it's only 5 floors per run. So, wow, okay, it's actually quite big. Because you're going to get, like, first and second, then you're going to get a shop layer, then 4, and then you're straight into boss. So you're actually only doing 3 floors of trash, which is quite nice. So all in all, I think Warlocks are going to be crazy strong. That's the big take from these updates. I want to play around with Survival Hunter a little bit. I don't think Blood DK is going to change from this. Shadow Priest, I don't know enough about, but I don't think this is a particularly nice change for them. Maybe for AoE, but certainly not for single target. The other one I wanted to mention that I haven't talked about yet, if I can find it. Heroes Path Shadowlands. So we had something similar in Missa Pandaria. When you completed a challenge mode in Missa Pandaria, which is what it was at the time, you got to teleport to the dungeon if you did it in like a certain time. If you basically did the equivalent of 3-chested a dungeon. You got to teleport to the dungeon, and these were incredible. They were so good, and I'm sure they've come around in different iterations before as well, but this is now, you need to complete a Mythic Keystone dungeon on level 20 on time, and you'll get an achievement and a teleport to the dungeon entrance, which is amazing. The utility from this is fantastic. It gives a reason to push past 15s. I'm really happy to see this. So, guys, I'm not going to go over all the changes because we've talked about a lot of them before. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and there's going to be another video coming out in the next couple of days. I'm going to be talking about all the metas for the next patch, looking at what we know so far, and all that good stuff. So guys, thank you for watching, and catch you later. Goodbye.